To all of our volunteers out there, thank you for hanging in there with us throughout this entire pandemic. I'm Joe Elmore, President and CEO of Charleston Animal Society. You know, back on June 5th, when we held our volunteer homecoming to welcome all of you back, we had no idea, no one had an idea that the resurgence of this pandemic would be as impactful as it is today. Today, we also learned that over 10,000 South Carolinians have died from COVID. This recent resurgence is why we have put back into place additional measures here at Charleston Animal Society. Measures such as going back to requiring everyone in the animal shelter wearing a face mask. These additional measures also include asking all volunteers, anyone volunteering inside the animal shelter or at off-site adoption events, to be vaccinated. This is in no way a ban on unvaccinated volunteers. It's just to help us maintain as safe an environment for the animals as possible until we get through this crisis. You see, right now, end of summer, as we enter the peak of hurricane season, on top of this pandemic, is a crisis. The last thing we can afford is that there would be a COVID outbreak or a COVID exposure at Charleston Animal Society. That would hit social media and other media, and folks are already afraid. Folks are already restricting their activities of going out. And now is the time when we need people most to come to the shelter to adopt animals. So by asking our unvaccinated volunteers not to volunteer inside the animal shelter, we're reducing the possibility of exposures, not eliminating the possibility, but reducing the possibility of exposures so that that will not interrupt us saving these animals' lives. There are plenty of volunteer positions, critical volunteer positions, that we need all of you in. In fact, as I say often, you are one of the pillars in that milk stool where Charleston Animal Society is the seat. Without you, we would collapse. There are only about 25% of the volunteer roles that actually take place in the animal shelter. So all of the fostering volunteer positions, all of the transport, the emergency rescue, and other positions that are off-site, resale, animal sanctuary, cat sanctuary, all of these positions are still available. Fosters are really, really needed, especially for space right now. In fact, foster adoption ambassadors are needed to come in, take a dog, typically a large dog, and be that dog's Hollywood agent, for example, and try to get the dog adopted. These are the critical positions where we need you most. But I want you to understand, in no way is this a ban on unvaccinated volunteers. It's another measure to help us maintain as safe a shelter for the animals as possible until we get through this crisis. So as I mentioned to you before and time again, we miss you, we love you. We just all got to hang in there together until we get through this crisis. Stay safe, stay healthy, Charleston strong.